And thank you for joining us this evening for our City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and get started. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Adamson.
Here.
Bray.
Here.
Cheatham.
Here.
Florett.
Here.
Ortega.
Here.
Stevens.
Here.
Black.
Here. If you would please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, after which, if you would remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Celeste Stingers representing the Praise Temple of God. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To the mayor and to our council members, I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. And congratulations to you again, Mayor, on your re-election. Can we all bow our heads, please? Oh, gracious Heavenly Father, we come before your throne with mercy and grace. Enlighten us now as we meet together so that we each have a clear understanding of the issues we need to discuss. Give us clarity on our purpose for this meeting and what objectives we should accomplish in this meeting. May these objectives keep us on track, and may they bound us together with a common goal. May these objectives drive each of us to participate rather than just passive listening. May this meeting be lively and productive, and may the desired outcome be achieved. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Celeste. We'll move to agenda item number 3 is a consent agenda. The following business items may be approved by one motion and a vote. If any one member of the council so desires, any matter listed can be moved to a separate agenda item. A, minutes. Council may wish to waive the oral reading of the minutes and approve the minutes from the following meetings. Budget development meeting of June 7, June 8, June 9, June 10, June 29, and August 11, 2021. Work sessions of July 8, August 12, 2021. Special City Council meeting of July 26 and August 24, 2021. Council liaison work session clarification meeting of July 15 and clarification and regular council meetings of November 4, November 18, and December 2, 2021. B, Child Care Advisory Committee appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Carly, how do I say that name? Kumarel to serve as a member of the Child Care Advisory Committee, filling a long-term vacancy. Carly's term will begin July 17, 2021, and will expire December 17. I'm sorry. Term will begin December 17, 2021, and will expire December 17, 2025. C, Construction Board of Appeals and Review appointment. Council may wish to confirm the mayor's appointment of Rob Jensen to serve as a member of the Construction Board of Appeals and Review representing the plumbing trade. Rob's term will begin January 1, 2022, and will expire December 31, 2024. D, Council decision Breezy Commons Townhouse final plat approval. Council may wish to adopt its decision approving the final plat for Breezy Commons Townhouses, which subdivides approximately 7.39 acres of land into 59 lots, subject to conditions. The property is located within a residential medium-density single-family RMS zoning district and is located east of Philbin Road and north of Cottage Avenue. Access to the development will be provided from Philbin Road and Breezy Point Drive.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of agenda item number 3, the consent agenda items B, C, and D, excluding A.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham.
Yes.
Florett.
Yes.
Adamson.
Yes.
Bray.
Yes.
Ortega.
Yes.
Stevens.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do with A?
was not here for the December 2nd meeting, and I am not comfortable voting to approve minutes for a meeting that I didn't attend. I would vote against that just on that basis.
Okay, so I would entertain a motion for approval of the minutes, agenda item A.
So moved.
So we have a motion by Lurick,
Second.
a second by Stevens. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lorick,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Adamson. Yes. Bray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
No.
Ortega.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Agenda item 4, calendar review. Council may wish to take this opportunity to inform other council members of upcoming meetings and events that should be called to their attention. Oops, grabbed the wrong one. On January 6, 5:30 PM will be a clarification meeting. 6 PM will be a regular city council meeting. January 13, 9 AM will be a city council work session. Other events, the Marshall Library has shortened service hours in December. The hours are 10 AM to 6 PM. Regular hours will return on January 3. City offices will be closed December 24 to observe Christmas holiday and December 31 to observe the New Year's Day holiday. Garbage and recycle pickups will be delayed by 1 day. Community Recreation Center will be closed on the following dates for the holidays: December 24 through December 26, and December 31 through January 2nd. December 27 through 31, special pickup for Christmas tree overflow. Bags or boxes of extra holiday wrapping will be picked up on the same day as regularly scheduled pickups. December 27 through January 14, Christmas tree collection sites. Boxes will be provided at City Hall, Rainey Park on South Arthur, and Sister City Park entrance on Pocatello Creek Road for Christmas tree disposal. Trees will be chipped and used in landscaping projects. Be sure to remove all strings, wires, and other objects to avoid damaging the city's wood chipping equipment. Reminder, citizens are required to wear face coverings when entering any City of Pocatello building or facility or while riding in public transit buses and at the Pocatello Airport. As a reminder as well, please keep the sidewalks clear of snow and ice. Agenda item 5, acceptance of canvass votes for 2021 general election, special election. Council may wish to accept the canvass election results for the City of Pocatello general election held on November 2, 2021, and Pocatello mayoral runoff election held on November 30, 2021. Bannock County Commissioners serving as Board of Canvassers of Elections have provided signed abstracts of all votes cast within Pocatello city limits.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Lurick?
I move that we approve agenda item number 5 and accept the canvass election results for the City of Pocatello general election on November 2nd and mayoral runoff election on November 30th.
Second.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lorick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 6, final plat application, Point View Apartments, First Division subdivision. Council may wish to approve a final plat application submitted by Kent Morris, represented by HLE Incorporated, to subdivide 1.83 acres, more or less, into 9 lots. The proposed subdivision is located south of Quinn Road, east of Philbin Road, and north of Brock Drive. Staff finds the proposal compliant with all applicable standards with conditions.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Cheatham?
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of agenda item number 6, the final plat application for the Point View Apartments First Edition subdivision.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Adamson. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson. Yes. Bray,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 7, Certified Local Government Grant Application Historic Preservation Commission. Council may wish to authorize submission of the fiscal year 2022 Certified Local Government Grant Application to the Idaho State Historic Preservation Office and if awarded, authorize the acceptance of the grant and authorize the mayor's signature on all related documents subject to legal department review. The grant application is in the amount of $15,400 with an in-kind match of $15,400. In administration, general support, the proposed projects for the grant funds include funding the required local match to host the 2022 Idaho Heritage Conference update to the Downtown Historic District design standards and policies, and funding for membership dues with the National Trust of Historic Preservation and the National Alliance of Preservation Commission. Councilwoman Lurick?
question.
Okay. Councilwoman Lurick, before we jump into some.
Okay. I move that the council authorize submission of the fiscal year '22 certified local government grant application as outlined in agenda item number 7 to the Idaho State Historic Preservation Office, and if awarded, authorize acceptance of the grant and authorize the mayor's signature on all related documents, subject to legal department review.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second, but we have questions, so
yeah.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yeah. Will council see the updated design standards and policies prior to their becoming final?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, Jim Anglesey, long-range senior planner for the city. Yes, this cost is to hire a consultant to help review and reorganize those standards, as well as public outreach. So the council definitely will need to adopt those in the end.
Okay, thank you.
I think I saw, just a minute, Jim, I think I saw Councilwoman Ortega's.
I'm confused. The match is in kind, but you just, and maybe I didn't hear you right. You just said this money is to hire a consultant. So what money is to hire a consultant if it's in kind?
Yeah, the $10,000 of federal funds is to
Okay.
hire the consultant.
Okay,
And the matching is administrative support over a 2-year period. And that contributes all, whatever the HPC does, all the programs, any meetings, all that time goes towards that in-kind match.
okay.
Okay, super, thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Lurick and a second by Adamson. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, 2021 State Homeland Security Grant Program Fire Department. Council may wish to approve the Pocatello Fire Department to participate in and accept funding through the fiscal year 2021 State Homeland Security Grant Program. This annual grant provides support for equipment and training to RRT 6 Hazmat in the amount of $20,000 and to ITRT 3A Technical Rescue in the amount of $7,000. There is no local match requirement. Council may also wish to authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilman Cheatham?
Mr. Mayor, I'd move for approval of agenda item number 8, the 2021 State Homeland Security Grant Program with the Fire Department, and also authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents subject to legal department review.
Second.
We have a motion by Cheatham and a second by Lurick. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lurick,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 9, State of Idaho Local Highway Technical Assistance Council, LHTAC, grant application acceptance. Council may wish to approve submission of the following grant applications, and if awarded, authorize the mayor's signature on all pertinent documents or pertinent contract documents. The projects are A, fiscal year 2025 Local Highway Safety Improvement Program, LHSIP, safety grant in the amount of $645,700 for the Arthur Custer Intersection Pedestrian Safety Project. The project will reconstruct the traffic signal and add directional pedestrian push buttons and new hardware. The grant requires a 7.34% match of $47,394.38, which would be provided through Fund 70, and B, fiscal year 2024 Transportation Alternative Program TAP grant in the amount of $442,606.84 for the Center Street Pedestrian Bridge project. The project will upgrade the pedestrian bridge for pedestrians, bicyclists, and non-motorized vehicles. This is part of the Center Street Bridge project. The grant requires a 7.34% match of $32,489.34, which would be provided through Fund 70.
Mr. Mayor?
Let's go Councilwoman Ortega.
So I'm willing, the way this reads, it seems like I'll be voting not just to approve applying for the grant, but also if it's awarded, to fund this. So I just want assurances that we're only voting to apply for the grant.
I think that has to be part of the motion. I have the same concern because it was clarified during the clarification meeting that this is actually a vote on submitting the grant application, but as written, it appears to also be a vote on guaranteeing the funding from Fund 70, and I'm not comfortable with that.
So what is your motion?
My motion then is that we approve the application for the grant, but not the appropriation for the matching at this point, that needs to come back at a later date when we know what's going on with Fund 70, and hopefully with a CFO seated at that point.
Okay?
How long
Did
did
that
these,
make sense, Connie?
Yeah, I think so.
and how long, what's the turnaround to hear back on these grants? I'm assuming it's more than 2 weeks.
Merrill Quell, the Public Works Engineer for the City of Pocatello. Just wanted to clarify that the turnaround, we should know probably mid-year if we're
Right.
accepted to the grant. As you read in there, and you're correct, it could be probably worded a little differently because these will be funded in 2024 and 2025 if awarded.
Okay.
It would come back because we would be going through state local agreements, and also the budgeting would have to be budgeted into Fund 70 by you as council for the funding of that project, for that matching funds at that time.
Okay.
In those fiscal
In
years.
those fiscal years. So we're looking at 24 and 25. Again, the way the state monies evolve, and it takes a few years to get through there.
Yeah.
So the funding would be voted on you guys as the council through that budget year. So.
Okay,
Okay, thanks.
anyway, that's my motion.
Yeah,
Thanks, Merrill.
so I'll second it because I don't want to commit us to future years' budgets.
And can we even do that? I thought we had to
why it
function
has to
within
go.
an annual.
Oh,
I mean, can we even commit, I mean, could we even commit current funds to future, I mean, I thought we couldn't do that. I thought we had to stay within an annual fiscal year.
Do you want me to answer that, or?
Well, go ahead, Mayor.
Again,
Mayor, you're
we're
here.
coming back through again.
Right.
The process is if we don't apply, then we don't.
No,
we're not
I-
there.
I
So,
understand, yeah.
but we're not committing to that. If we get it, then
right.
it comes back for state, local,
Right.
and you guys can reject that at
Right.
any time, and
Right.
we need to turn it back.
Yeah, I understand that. It was more, I was just, when I was actually wondering because Councilman Bray commented, that he didn't want to commit funds for future years. And my question was really, I didn't think we could actually even do that if we wanted to.
No, typically you cannot, you're correct.
Right. So I understand the process. It was, sorry, Merrill, it was.
We're not committing
No,
funds right now.
understood. Okay, thanks.
okay, and I've got one for Tom probably.
Okay, Tom?
Having just driven through the Custer Street in interchange on Arthur. Will the lights on Main Street be coordinated? Because we were there, and I think we blocked the intersection behind us at Custer and Arthur, because there was not a gap for people to pull out at the stop sign up there. So will the lights be worked to where there's a better coordination, where they'll know when that one's opening up? And
Tom Kirkman, Deputy Public Works Director. Currently, that signal is, it's run off of a timer. It doesn't have the infrastructure to be able to coordinate. The signal's farther down. They didn't used to have that technology because it's been really difficult to get communications down in to Center, Clark, Arthur, and Maine. We now have communications there to where we can coordinate those. So when we do this signal, the upgrades would be made so that we could run a coordination plan through there.
Okay.
So the
So it'll be a
short
lot-
answer is yes,
lot smoother.
a lot smoother.
Okay.
The other thing is that there's a lot of geometry that can be addressed as well. That's a challenging intersection based on some approaches that are adjacent to it. So it's a really good
So
project.
it'll be looking at all the possible fixes and coming up with solutions.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think it'll be it could be a good project, so.
Okay.
Super, thank you. Okay, we have a motion by Ortega and a second by Bray.
Ortega,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 10, Union Pacific Railroad UPRR access agreement for Center Street Bridge, or Center Street Railroad Bridge Underpass Project. Council may wish to authorize the mayor's signature on an access agreement with UPRR for the construction of Center Street Railroad Bridge Underpass Project, subject to legal department review. The agreement requires a $1,000 processing fee, which is included in the total project cost and would be provided through Fund 70. Council President Adamson.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve execution of the agreement as outlined in agenda item number 10.
Second.
I have some discussion.
We have a motion by President Adamson and a second by Lurick, and we have some discussion.
This
Right.
is the major item that made us have 245 pages of documents to go over for this meeting tonight. When I was reading through this agreement, it looks like we're holding ourselves as accountable should the railroad not be able to run over that. And if I just, God, that could be millions of dollars if we're down a day or two, if they're not able. So I guess what assurances do we have that we're not going to get upside down on that?
I'm sorry, I can't tell if you're looking at me or Art, who's
Well,
working this.
I think the lawyer needs to.
No, and I'm happy to do that, yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
you know, understand, it's a great exposure for us by the way this document reads, at least the way I read it.
You're absolutely right. The way it reads, it could expose us substantially. However, in conversations with the engineering department, with our public works director, I'm comfortable but that language that the railroad required us to keep in the agreement, and it was a many-year negotiation to get to this point tonight. That language is standard language that they put in all their agreements and very unlikely to be applicable to this underpass. They use it for their overpasses, for their crossings, for everything. And because of the responsibilities we have with the parts of the overpass we're responsible for versus the parts they're responsible for, it's highly, highly unlikely that anything we do will impact the railroad and their ability to continue to operate. So I'm comfortable with the liability exposure that we have, which is almost none. But you're right, absolutely, that's a great catch. Reading it on its face, it seems like we could be really
Well, yeah,
in trouble if something goes
If we
around.
miscalculated,
Yeah, no,
then they couldn't run their line for a day or two.
But truly, the structural aspects of the underpass that would affect their operations are theirs. And we're not impacting that at all. So I can't think of a scenario, and we discussed this at length, I can't think of a scenario where what we're doing would have any impact on their operations.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion by President Adamson and a second by Lurick. Would you please call the roll, Wendy?
Adamson,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Bray,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 11, 2022 Water Department Materials Bid. Council may wish to consider the bids received on December 2nd, 2021 for materials used by the Water Department for capital improvement projects, maintenance, and to replenish material inventory. The bid was separated into 13 separate lots in an effort to guarantee the lowest price for the city. Staff requests that the council award each lot to the lowest responsive bidder as follows. A, Silver Creek Supply, Lot 8, $7,178. B, Mountain Land Supply, Lot 1, $320,162. C, Ferguson Waterworks, Lots 4, 7, 12, and 13, $149,813. D, Corn Main, Lots 2, 5, 6, 10, and 11, $124,012.91. And E, HD Flower Company, Lots 3 and 9, $57,397.98. Total cost for materials bids is $658,563.89. Funds are available in Water Department fiscal year 2022 budget. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we declare the items A through E as the lowest responsive bids based on lots, and that we approve these expenditures.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Stevens. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Gray,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 12, resolution dissolving Sister Cities Committee. Council may wish to adopt a resolution dissolving the Sister Cities Committee. The members will be joining the Pocatello Iwamazawa Sister City Foundation to continue facilitating the city of Pocatello's relationship with Iwamazawa Hokkaido.
Hokkaido.
Hokkaido, thank you, Japan. I had it memorized, but I forgot. Councilman Bray.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve the resolution dissolving the Sister Cities Committee.
Second.
We have a motion by Bray and a second by Stevens. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Gray,
Yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Lorick,
Yes.
Ortega.
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 13, New Town Square Park Project, Historic Downtown Pocatello. Council may wish to consider accepting the recommendations of staff for the following requests pertaining to the proposed New Town Square Park Project in Historic Downtown Pocatello. A, grant permission for city streets and parks departments to provide $130,000 of in-kind match for the project in the form of internal labor, services, and associated equipment use. B, accept ownership and maintenance responsibility of the park and redevelop the building and stage areas upon project completion. And C, grant naming rights to the park in perpetuity to the project donor funding provider.
Mr. Mayor.
Councilwoman Lurick? Or Cheatham, member Cheatham, which one?
Go, I don't care.
I move that we approve agenda item number 13 and accept the recommendations of staff for the requests pertaining to the proposed New Town Square Park project in historic downtown Pocatello as outlined in A, B, and C of agenda item number 13.
Second.
So we have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham.
Mr. Mayor?
We have a couple of comments. So let's go here, then Stevens, then Ortega.
Okay, I just wanted to take a moment to compliment our city staff and also historic downtown Pocatello staff for all of their efforts on this, and also to extend a thank you to the donor who is making this possible. I think it's going to be amazing for our community, and so thank you to all of those who have been involved.
Stevens?
Yeah, it was clarified during the clarification session that the design is not final, the design that was presented to us, and that's not indicated in this. I would be comfortable with voting yes for the motion if it is clear in the motion that there will be a thorough discussion that includes council, because the city's going to take on ownership and responsibility. of the final design, and also that the public is given an opportunity to understand what is proposed and weigh in. If that is clear in the motion, I'm fine with the 3 items. If that's not clear, then I'm not comfortable. It's a great opportunity. I'm grateful to the donor, all of that, but I do think that this is a community amenity, and I do think it would be polite to allow the community at large an opportunity to understand and weigh in on the final design, not on any of the A, B, or C provisions.
Okay, Ortega?
I have a question. What is, I read this earlier and I forgot to ask about it. The town square plan will remain, including the water feature, which is planned to be improved so that public interaction with the water feature could be allowed. What is that? What is more public interaction with the water feature? Is it going to get turned into a splash pad or something, or?
Mr. Mayor, Council, Stephanie Pelagi, Historic Downtown Pocatello. We will make modifications. The end goal of the water feature is to allow kids to actually experience the water safely. Right now, there's not any wading or swimming or anything that's allowed there. So whether we turn it into a wading pool or a splash pad, we want kids to be able to experience the water.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Councilman Bray?
I think we need to have a little bit of dialogue because there's some things with this that probably a public hearing would have suited as well. For example, granting naming rights for the park in perpetuity to the project donor funding. How will that be passed along? Is it the donor goes with the land, a certain parcel of land? Is it their legacy that they leave in a trust or something? Or you understand what I'm saying? Because if they're going to name it, it looks like they could be renaming it from time to time and the city wouldn't have any.
No, that's not correct. A name would be chosen for the development, and that name would be attached to that to that property. Just very simply, very similar to Ross Park, Brady Park.
Okay. So it's going to be named forever that way. So is Simplot Square going to retain its name then?
Simplot will remain a name involved in the project, but Simplot Square, the name will go away.
Have we looked to see what?
Yes, we have.
Okay. The requirements
Yep,
were on that.
we do.
And Simplot's fine with that?
Yes.
Okay. Rick?
I see several members of the board and people who've worked on this project for a long time present this evening, and I want to thank every one of you. I've been involved in a lot of those meetings the last 3 years, and this has been a tedious project to pull together. And Steph and the rest of you guys have done a great job of doing this. And this is going to be a huge benefit to the redevelopment of our historic, I'm learning to say not Old Town, but historic downtown Pocatello. It took me 2 years to learn to say Old Town. But this is a linchpin that will really move forward and show what can be done in this town for our downtown area. And thank you.
Yes.
And I don't want to be misunderstood that I'm not as supportive and I'm not appreciative, but I also do believe that it's in the community's best interest and in the public's best interest, and it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't do anything to just make an opportunity now that it's come together to let the community in on the, on the adventure. It doesn't change anything, but I do not want to be misunderstood and be considered negative, because that is not the case. It's simply that I'm positive about including the public.
Council President?
Mr. Mayor, I feel like it's already been clearly conveyed to us that that is the intent of the organization and of the people involved, is to have involvement and public awareness in the future, so I don't see any need to amend the motion at this time, and I'd like to call for a vote.
I still
Okay.
have some questions.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I think it's
You
really.
want to, just a minute, Councilman Bray. Are you okay if we take a couple more questions before we call the vote? Or no, you've requested the vote to be called?
I guess I would, is it a question separate from the public involvement question?
Well, it's just to make sure the public understands what the process has been.
And why can't that, I mean, that's why,
Well, that's.
So-
Well,
Well-
they were very clear that that's their intent, and that's the plan, and
I
I trust
understand,
them
but-
and believe that they will do that.
So let's go ahead and I don't hear you saying, yeah, let's go with another
My
question.
question's not
So
about the process afterwards, it's tonight.
the process tonight?
Well, they've done a lot of work, and I think it needs to be in public record. I think we're shorting their testimony for the public record that the public can hear about by watching this and having it detailed more.
Are you okay with the question or no?
Sure.
Okay.
So,
Councilman Bray, you got a question?
okay, I've got a couple. Stephanie, you've worked with our Parks and Recreation Department pretty extensively. You've worked with our library pretty extensively, which is right across the street from this project. You've worked with this committee for a long, long time getting this going. So could you just explain the evolution of this in a few sentences?
Sure. So in the process, 3 years ago, we started reevaluating our master development plan, which is our 20-year vision looking forward to what downtown's going to be 20 years from today. We went through a series of public meetings, design committee meetings, promotion committee meetings, trying to identify in the downtown area, where are there redevelopment, revitalization opportunities to help build a stronger downtown. And we have a list of projects. This project came to the top of the priority list for several reasons. First off, the available space in the land. The pandemic proved to us that we needed to have larger facilities to spread people out more effectively so that we could continue to host public events, keep the public engaged, and not have to cancel and try to recreate things along the way. So this project is the #1 project that we believe will organically spur additional projects that we've identified in our plan, such as Portneuf Landing, the Terry First Connection. Of course, the Center Street Underpass is a large component in the redevelopment downtown. This is, I think that the timing is perfect for this project.
And I think you mentioned in the preliminary meeting that you won't have access to as large parking lots as a railroad, but you're going to use your trolley to convey people over there so that transportation will be provided.
Yep.
And we heard some testimony in the preliminary that they believe this will be a safer venue than your present location as well.
Yes, we won't be closing city streets, so the activities will be consolidated into one city block. The one city street we will close occasionally during larger events will be Garfield, where there will be staging for power for food trucks, beverage trucks, things like that.
Just to interject, we talk a lot about walkability. This is only 3 blocks from Union Pacific Avenue. If people want to get out and walk, this is a 2 or 3 minute hike is all it amounts to. There won't be an adjacent Union Pacific parking lot, but it's only 3 blocks away.
Okay. All right, thank you, Stephanie.
Okay, thank you.
We have a motion by Lurick and a second by Cheatham. Wendy, could you please call the roll?
Lurick,
Yes.
Cheatham,
Yes.
Adamson,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Ortega,
Yeah, I think this is exactly the kind of project that Old Town
Historic downtown.
needs
historic downtown.
to, start breathing some life into that area. And so I thank you for coming up with this. And again, like Heidi said, to the donor. So yes, absolutely, yes.
Stevens,
Yes.
Thank you. Agenda item 14, items from the audience. This time has been set aside to hear items from the audience not listed on the agenda. Items which appear somewhere else on the agenda will not be discussed at this time. The council is not allowed to take any official action at this meeting on matters brought forward under this agenda item. Items will either be referred to the appropriate staff or scheduled on a subsequent agenda. You must sign in at the start of the meeting in order to be recognized. As a reminder, there will be 3 minutes per person that has signed in and a total of 15 minutes for this agenda item. I know I had one person, Nikki.
It's underneath.
Oh, there we go. Nikki Taysom.
Thank you, Nikki Taysom, General Delivery, Pocatello, Idaho 83201. We all took the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of this meeting, and we pledged allegiance to the flag which represents our republic, we the people, as one nation under God and indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We've just made decisions that did not include we the people in that ability to have those rights. The preamble to the Constitution states, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union." I addressed this council recently regarding the hookah bar and the shooting of one of our youth. That building, that business is still open. And I've addressed the bars and the activities that go with the bars, including fights, including sexual assault, including DUIs, including repeated police response, including vomit and garbage that go along with that and in the tunnels. And we cannot ensure domestic tranquility by continually empowering the evil that creates the nightmare we're dealing with now. We have children, youth, and young adults locked up in juvenile and adult detentions, rehab psych units. We have high suicide rates. We the people are the sovereignty, you're the servants, and we are to uphold and obey these specific laws, that Pledge of Allegiance as a nation under God. We are a Christian constitutional republic under God, guaranteed rights. The Fourth Amendment states, "The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause." That's just a brief part of it. We are not secure in our persons, properties, paper, or effect. We continually have crime. We have continual high increase of taxes. We have continual losses and foreclosures because people can't afford it anymore. People can't take it anymore. I am constantly, when I go to grocery shop, see people who are reduced to living on ramen noodles and pop and cold sugar cereal, including our veterans and elderly who are totally fixed on income. The Fifth Amendment states, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. There's been things approved that we don't get a voice on. We do judicial confirmation hearings and putting us under debt that we had no voice in. We have businesses that are allowed to be open. If you want to improve the Old Town area, I lived above Lono's. I dealt with the drunks, I dealt with the homeless, I dealt with the drug deals, I dealt with the fights, the sexual assault, I dealt with the homeless. I dealt with the gunshot victims. I've dealt with the homeless children. I've dealt with the poor. I've dealt with the cold and hungry, passed out in front of the bars in the wintertime.
Thank you very much. Thank
Sure,
you.
in the name of
With
Jesus,
that,
Messiah.
with that, thank you very much, Council. With that, we'll move to agenda item 15 and adjourn this meeting. Thank you.